Right, guys, let's do some more questions that mimic the difficult questions of Module 2 type. These are not from Bluebook, and if you need private tutoring, feel free to reach out. Two-fifths of the voters initially promised to vote for candidate P and the remaining voters promised to vote for Q. However, on election day, 15% of P's voters changed their mind and voted for Q, while 25% of Q's voters changed their mind and voted for P. As a result, P lost by 2 votes. What was the total number of votes? Okay. First, what is the total number of voters? Okay. So let's say the voters were X, and they are saying that two-fifth of X promised to vote for P, and obviously the remaining, that is 3/5, promised to vote for Q. Later on, these people rebelled, and 15% of P supporters, remember, 15% of this changed their mind and voted for Q indeed. So what is the 15% of this? In other words, I just want to multiply 0.15 to 2/5 of X. So let me bring up my calculator. That comes out as 0.06x. So this one will come out as 0.34x. Why? Because this is 0.4x. So these two should obviously sum up to give 0.4. Now remember that these voters now voted for Q, and these are still with P. Likewise, something happened over here as well. 25% of Q supporters changed their mind and voted for P. What is a 25%? 25% is easy, right? That's just 1/4. So 1/4 of 3/5 of X, which comes out as 3/20 of X, they voted for P. And the remaining voted for Q. Remaining will be 3/4, of course, 3/4 of 3/5 of X. So that is 9/20X voted for Q. They are saying that as a result, P lost by 2 votes, which means that the number of Q votes minus P votes is equal to 2, right? Because Q won. Total votes of Q will be these two things, right? So 0.06x plus 9/20x minus P, which is 0.34x plus 3/20x, and that is equal to 2. Now, if you want, you can type this in Desmos or do this manually. I'm just going to plug it in Desmos. Right, so it is 0.06x plus 9/20x. And remember this minus and then parentheses is really important. 0.34x plus 3/20x. And like I said earlier, repeatedly, put it as an expression rather than an equation. So 2 comes on the left side, so -2. So if I zoom this out, I'm going to get x-intercept, that is my answer, as 100. So this means that the total number of voters that we took as X were 100, option A. Right, this one is on geometry. It says that there's a PQRS, that is a square, and SR is a tangent to the circle at point S, and TR, this guy, and OS as in this guy, these are equal. So I'm going to mark OS and TR, these guys are equal. Then what is the ratio of the area of the circle to the area of the square? All right, excellent. Okay, this is radius, right? This is definitely radius. So this is also radius because it's given that these two sides are equal. And don't you think OT is also radius? So this is also R. So if you look at this triangle that I have just highlighted, and by the way, there's a property that tangent, which is SR, is always at 90° with the circle at the point of contact. So this will be 90° over here. That's a property, right? I hope you know this. So I'm going to find the length of SR because SR is nothing but the side S of the square after all. So I'm going to say that S square plus R square, why S square plus R square? So this is square plus this is square, as in sum of the square of the legs of a triangle, right triangle, is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. And remember, the hypotenuse is 2R square. So S square plus R square is equal to 4R square, which means that S square will be equal to 3R square. Right, so what are they asking? They're asking area of the circle. So area of the circle is definitely pi r square. And what is the area of the square? Area of the square is going to be the side square. And don't we have the value of s square already? That's 3r square. All we need to do is take the ratio of circle to square. So circle to square. Circle is pi r square. Square is um, uh, 3r square. R square and r square is gone. So my answer is pi over 3. That is yes, option A. Right, three consecutive positive even numbers. Notice even numbers are such that the thrice the first number exceeds double the third by 2, then the third number is. All right. The mistake that students usually do over here is, although they take the first number as 2k, because 2k is always an even number, or even don't bother yourself with 2k. They can just take the first number as k. But the other two numbers, they take as k plus 1 and k plus 2, which is wrong. Because these are definitely consecutive, but these are not consecutive even. For it to be even, if you're considering k as an even number, then the next even will be k plus 2 and the next even will be k plus 4. That's the first, well, important point over here. Now they are saying that the thrice the first number, 3k, exceeds means it is more than double the third. Double the third is double the k plus 4 by 2. By 2 means plus 2. So 3k will be equal to 2k plus 8 plus 2. Subtracting 2k both the sides, k is equal to 10. And yes, k is indeed an even number. That's what we wanted. So they are saying what is the third number? The numbers will be 10, 12, and 14. So the third number is definitely 14b. Right. A person lives X floors above the ground floor in a high-rise building, and it takes 30 seconds per floor to walk down these stairs, and 2 seconds per floor to ride the elevator. Fair enough. If walking down takes the same amount of time as waiting 7 minutes for the elevator and then riding it down, then what is the value of X? All right. Okay. So he lives X floors above the ground, right? And it takes 30 seconds to walk per floor. So first, what is the time of walk? What will be the time that it takes for him to walk down these many floors? It will obviously be 30 multiplied with x, because 30 seconds for one floor. So for x floors, that's going to be 30x. What is the time for the elevator? Time for the elevator will be the wait time plus the ride time, correct? What is the wait time? Wait time is 7 minutes, but don't be mistaken here. This should not be taken as 7 minutes, because we have considered this as seconds. So you have to convert minutes into seconds by multiplying with 60. And ride time is 2 seconds per floor. So for x floors, that's going to be 2x. So 7 times 6 is 42, 420 plus 2x. And now they are saying that these two times should be equal. So I can do that. If these two times are supposed to be equal, it means that 30x should be equal to 2x plus 420. Subtract 2x both the sides, so that's 28x is equal to 420. So the value of x comes out as, if you divide this using a calculator, you will get 15. So 15 floors, that's option D. Right. One root of this equation is square of the other, then what is the value of k? We're going to use the property that, first off, one root is the square of the other, right? Let one root be p. So the other root has to be p square, right? We know that. And we also know that sum of roots of a quadratic is negative b over a, and product of the roots is going to be c over a. Product is easy to find because I know the value of c, right? That's negative 8. And the value of a is just 1. And the product will be p times p square, because these are both the roots, correct? So p cube will be equal to negative 8. If we take the cube root of negative 8, we are going to end up with p as negative 2. Now I'm going to use sum. Sum is nothing but p plus p square, and that's going to be negative b, where b is just k, and over a is just 1. P is negative 2, and p square will be negative 2 square is equal to negative k. So negative 2 plus negative 2 square is 4 is equal to negative k. So 2 is equal to negative k. which means that k is negative 2 over here. So the final answer is negative 2, and that is indeed option D. Right, a ladder is leaning against a wall and its length is exactly equal to the height of the wall. All right, that's an important information. Let's say the height of the wall, this is wall, and the height of the wall B, let's call it L. And they are saying that there's a ladder that also has the length H. Now, suppose the bottom of the ladder is placed on 3-meter high platform. All right, so there is a platform over here, 3-meter high. Let's say this is 3 meters, and the ladder is placed on it, and it is positioned 9-meter away as well, by the way. So 9-meter away, there you go, 9-meter away. Rather than making a square, I'm just gonna make a simple vertical height kind of, so to avoid any confusion. So let's say this is the platform and this is obviously the distance. And now they are saying that the top of the ladder, the bottom of the ladder is placed. So this is where the ladder is. The top of the ladder now still touches the top of the wall. Okay. So if the ladder still touches the top of the wall, it means that the ladder is something like this, right? And remember that the length of the ladder is still h. So this is h. They are saying what is the height of the wall? We need to find the value of h. So I think this is a trick question. If we connect these two people over here, we form a nice and cozy right triangle. So if you can help me, well, this is already 9. Can you tell me what this is? This will be the total well, height h minus the platform height, that is 3. So that's h minus 3. So all you have to do is note that this is a right angle triangle with all 3 sides known. And of course, you're going to ram Pythagoras theorem on these sides. So you're going to say that hypotenuse of square is equal to square, sum of the square of the legs. So that's going to look like this. If you're a fan of doing this manually, go ahead. If not, type this in Desmos. If you type this in Desmos, you're going to type in x square minus x minus 3 square minus 9 square, because like I said, you have to type in expressions and find the x-intercept. You can go ahead and do that. I'm going to do this manually. So h square will be equal to a minus b whole square is a square plus b square minus 2ab, that's 6h plus 81. These two people are gone. So 0 is equal, in fact, adding 6h both the sides. So 6h is equal to 9 plus 81. 81 plus 9 is 90. And 690 divided by 6 is 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 5 is 30. So there you go. The value of h is 15. That is option B. Right, guys, I hope you found these videos helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe, support the channel. Please share these videos. And if you need private tutoring, feel free to reach out. Thank you.